In this video, I'm going to share 6 tips to get the man you want to chase you. And I'm going to tell you exactly what to do to keep him interested and pursuing you. Don't go anywhere because we're starting right now. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Antonio Borrello and I'm a psychologist and a relationship coach. This channel is all about helping you build great relationships so you can grow happy with the people you love. So if you're interested in making your love life the best part of your life, start now by clicking the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you aren't missing anything. Okay, on to how to make a man chase you. First, I need to say that if you apply the 6 tips that I talk about in this video, your man is going to pursue and chase you like never before. That's for sure. But it's not going to happen because you are manipulative or playing mind games or by playing hard to get. Because honestly, those techniques don't really work on a high quality man, or they don't work for long. No, a high quality man will see right through those games and is not going to pursue a woman who pretends that she's not interested or acts flaky or plays games to keep him interested. That you can bet on. Instead, this video is focused on helping you to demonstrate the fact that you are an irresistible catch that he just can't get enough of. And when you are, not only is he going to be interested, he's going to be naturally pursuing and chasing and courting you because he wants you to be his other half. So yes, apply these principles in your life and you will be very happy with the results. So without further ado, here are the 6 tips. Number 1, believe that you are the prize. Okay, so we're starting off being philosophical here. I know, but number 1 is the most important, and without it, all the others won't really work. So what do I mean by believe that you are the prize? Well, do you believe in the core of your being that you are a woman who deserves to be loved unconditionally by a wonderful man? And if so, do your dating behaviors or your relationship behaviors communicate that? Because when you believe that you are a woman deserving of love, you will act the part and attract that kind of man. Essentially, believing that you are the prize is practicing self-love. But as you can imagine, practicing self-love in the context of a new intimate relationship is often easier said than done, because when we have strong romantic desires for another person, we often do things that we think will win their affection. We overlook red flags and forgive bad behavior. The chemically induced love fog overrides our ability to evaluate things clearly and objectively, and we get swept up and are sometimes engaging in behaviors that are anything but self-loving. And this is when the majority of dating mistakes happen. The mistakes that cause men to lose interest or bail on you or use you for sex. Remember, a man will treat you the way that you allow him to. So when your boundaries are being tested by a man, how do you handle it? Do you give him multiple chances or make excuses for his poor behavior because you're afraid of losing him? When you believe that you are the prize, you put your self-respect above your feelings and remain true to your standards and enforce your personal boundaries. Believing that you are the prize also means that you're not constantly trying to measure how much he likes you or wants you, and instead, you're more focused on how he measures up. You're more focused on how much you like him or how compatible he is with you. So, the bottom line, when you practice self-love, when you believe that you are deserving, when you behave in a way that demonstrates this feeling, it influences all of your interactions and you radiate with positive energy, and it wildly increases your level of attractiveness. And when that happens, you're irresistible to him. Number 2, never be too accessible before a serious relationship develops. Before he is fully committed and serious about making a future with you, don't always be available for him by always saying yes when he calls and asks you to go out, especially if he's calling with short notice. Saying no to his request for plans sends him the message that you have other engagements or commitments that are taking priority, at least at this time when he's asking. It also forces him to recognize your independence and that you're not just sitting by the phone waiting for his calls. Remember, one of the most important things that men find attractive in women is independence. He's got to know how full and complete your life is. And if he becomes part of it, it's because you want him to be part of it, not because you need him to be part of it. But wait, does that sound like game playing? Well, it is if you're simply acting like you're busy, but you're really sitting at home watching Netflix. Yeah, that's not what I'm referring to. Instead, I'm suggesting that you make sure that you are keeping up the life you had prior to meeting him. Be yourself and make yourself a priority. Make and keep plans with your girlfriends and keep your schedule busy. This goes a long way towards helping him to see you as a high-value woman with an exciting life. And when you do that, he's going to want to be part of that. So remember, don't be so eager to give a man access to your time and attention, and don't give up your time with your family and friends and hobbies when a new guy asks you on a date last minute. Trust me, he will appreciate and respect you more as a result. Number 3, let him initiate contact at least 80% of the time. That means that 80% of the time, you are going to let him be the first one to text and call and make plans with you. So he's the one who's going to be texting you good morning. He's the one who's going to be calling you. He's the one who's going to be asking you for plans. And this one is very important and often a rule that so many women disregard. But make sure that you're letting him initiate. Now, I know that so many of you are saying, why do I have to follow these ridiculous rules? Why can't I just text or call him when I want to? Why does it have to be an issue? Well, there are at least 4 reasons for this. First, if you are always the one to show interest in seeing him or even in keeping in touch with him, you're robbing him of the space he needs to miss you and to pursue you. The second reason, people value the things that they've worked for. As I've talked about before, the more effort he puts into you, the more he will appreciate and like you as a result. So let him work for you. The third reason, he's a man, and from both an evolutionary perspective as well as from a cultural perspective, men are prepared to pursue women in the courting process. So if you're the one who's always the first to reach out or to text or to call, you risk upsetting his expectation and his desire to pursue you. So just don't make it a habit. That's why I said 80% of the time he should be reaching out to you. And the fourth reason, when you let him initiate contact most of the time, it allows you to gauge his level of interest in you. In other words, you will know how he feels based on how proactive he is about seeing you and keeping in touch with you. Number 4, never act exclusive with a man who's still keeping his options open. If a man tells you he's not looking for a relationship or anything serious, you need to believe him the first time before you invest more of yourself and your feelings. And this goes back to number 1. If you believe that you are the prize, you will know that you can do better, and you will never entertain the idea of getting involved with a man who doesn't want a relationship, regardless of how attractive or successful or popular or desirable he might be. Oh, and the second part of this, don't believe for a minute that you are the one who is going to change a playboy into Mr. Commitment. I can't tell you the number of times a woman will ask me for advice on this very issue. She'll tell me she's in love and dating a man who acts like a boyfriend but does not want any type of relationship or commitment. And when I ask why they got involved with him, if he told them that from the start, they usually tell me that they thought if the relationship was special, if she were the special one, she would sway him into wanting a serious relationship. Don't get caught up in this arrangement. Doing so is only going to bring pain and frustration. Instead, when a man shows a cavalier attitude towards commitment or tells you he doesn't want a relationship, believe him the first time and know that you can and you will do better. Number 5, share your romantic enthusiasm and infatuation only after you've secured a place of importance or commitment in his life. In other words, before you know where you stand with a man, don't start acting head over heels in love with him. Doing so with a newly interested man may result in him no longer seeing you as a challenge worthy of his full attention. Instead, it's important to reach a mutual level of interest before you show him how smitten you are. So if a man is making sincere and consistent attempts to make you want him, then he's probably really into you and becoming infatuated and falling in love. So take things slowly here. Remember, men want that which is a challenge to obtain. Showing him your feelings too early makes him feel like he's the center of your universe, and that is anything but a challenge. Number 6, be willing to walk away. You must be willing to walk away from someone and something if it isn't working. Stop entertaining his half-hearted attempts to show you that he really cares. In other words, if he's giving you mixed messages, that's half-hearted. So if a man is not showing you the love and affection that you expect, don't complain about it or nag or fight with him. That's not going to change anything. Instead, take away your attention and be willing to walk away. If he has any kind of real desire for you, he will pull out all of the stops to get you back. But again, he must know that he has to change or he's going to lose you. That's not something that you need to tell him though. It's something that needs to be demonstrated in your behavior. He needs to feel that you aren't willing to settle, that you aren't going to tolerate behaviors or actions of his that you don't agree with. So he has to be afraid that he will lose you if he doesn't step up his game. And he will only experience this if he knows that you are willing and able to walk away from something that isn't right for you. By the way, I'd love to know some of the things that you do to pace your relationship and remain a challenge to your man. Leave a comment and let's start a discussion. Oh, and if you found this video helpful or informative, please consider subscribing so you're getting all of our new videos. You can click here to subscribe now, or you can click here to watch a video that YouTube thinks that you'll like. I'll see you in the next video.